I do want to say thank you to all of you. My family and I, we thank you. My sister's here, my mom, my aunt is here, and we're going to fight for justice. That's what we're here to do. We're here to fight, and we're not going to stop. That's right. Nobody deserves this type of injustice. It's not right. It must stop. It has to. Our voices must be heard. So today I thank you. My family thanks you. And we're not going to stop. Right. No justice, no peace.
All right.
So, I'm going to open this up. So I'm going to explain to you how this goes. We're going to be here until about 7 o'clock, and we're going to let the people of Baytown know that we come from all over Texas, from Houston, and from Louisiana, and we care about you and your family. If you want to come up, if any other family members want to come up, that's up to you. But I'm going to invite Candace Weber to come up, followed by Fatima Mann. I want y'all to understand something, and I also want Brandon Watson to come up. When we have protests with Black Lives Matter Houston, we don't create an itinerary and a list of people to come up and speak. We hear from the community, from the people closest. And I know that there's some local folks here too, so I want y'all to come up and speak as well when the time comes. We're going to pass this megaphone and we're going to have a conversation with community. This is how we demand justice. This is how we demand that that police officer be fired, that that police officer have his benefits suspended, that he be arrested, indicted, and prosecuted, because he cannot get away with this. This man has interacted with people in violent ways before, which we're finding out. And I believe that Pamela Turner, she wasn't in the wrong place at the wrong time. She was in the right place at the right time because she was at home, and she should have been able to get to her apartment and go about her day so that she can wake up tomorrow or the next day to see her grandbaby and her family.
When I say her name, you say Pamela Turner. Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
We need to scream her name so it rings in the ears of police officers all over the state of Texas. She mattered. I cannot say it enough. Many times, this society likes to label black women as problems. They denigrate us. They strip us of our womanhood. They strip us of our dignity. They strip us of our importance. They take away our very humanity. And we are here today to say no. We are here to demand justice for Pam Turner because she mattered. Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
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 No justice, no peace. No justice,
No peace.
no justice,
No peace.
no justice,
No peace.
no justice,
No peace.
no justice,
No peace.
no justice,
No peace.
no justice.
No peace.
Today we demand justice for Pamela Turner. Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Today we demand justice for black women. Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Today we stand proclaiming that Pamela Turner's life matters. Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
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 No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
It should be ringing through the halls of Austin and D.C. We uplift her spirit. We know she was loved. We know that she was cared for. She belonged to somebody. She was a person with real fears, real joys, real hopes, real dreams, real grandbabies, real babies. woman had an entire network that revolved around her. Pamela Turner was a nurse. She touched lives. She was instrumental in saving lives. I'm a nurse. And I can promise you that no matter what you look like, no matter where you come from, if I come in contact with you, my business is to save your life. Saving lives was Pamela Turner's business. And now, her life is gone. We will never, ever forget this sister. And we will always say her name.
Pamela Turner.
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 I'm going to pass this now to one of my sisters. I can always lean on. I can always turn to. It's always there. Fran, come up here, please. And here's the thing. Fran didn't know I was going to do this today. She had no idea. But this is how Black women show up. We show up for everyone. We're damn sure going to show up for ourselves. Fran, thank you.
You know, Brandon Mack and I were talking just a minute ago, and this drive here today was a familiar drive. You know, we drove down I-10, we drove down 290, we've been driving these streets, coming to these places, watching Black women be taken out. There's a genocide that's going on right now. People don't like to say these kinds of words. People get scared when we speak these kinds of truths. But every time we see Black women killed, Black women's bodies being violated in some kind of way, we just continue on and start thinking about the next election. But what I'm thinking about is what happens when these families are at home at night. I think about what would happen, what would my family be saying? Because you know what? At any moment, at any time, we could be Pamela Turner. We could be Pamela Turner. And right now, I just want to say thank you for being out here, because you didn't have to be out here. You know what I mean? You don't have to be out here having to constantly relive, be in front of all of us, talk about that hurt that you have. Because our system is broken, and we have to change it. We have to change it now. I am tired of Black lives. I'm tired of Black lives being taken. I'm tired of being Black lives not being valued. Because Black lives matter. Black women matter. Black people matter. Black matters. And damn it, we're going to do something, and we're going to scream and shout until the whole world knows. Till the whole world knows. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Bless you. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
And if you notice the theme, we say her name. We're saying that because we're talking about uplifting Black women. So all of the Black women in this space right now should be at the front and being centered. All the Black women at this event need to be up front and centered, because this is about you just as much as it is about me. It is time to talk about how you have been abused and your experiences. Don't be scared to take that megaphone.
Your home.
Don't address them. We don't talk to racists. We're talking to Black people. We teach the Black people at Black Lives Matter today. Black women, listen to these words. When Fatima finish up, that megaphone is open to y'all.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
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 My name is Fatima or Fatima Man. I come to you as the daughter of a black woman, as the granddaughter of a black woman. I can't stand before you without honoring all the black women who have stood here and have built this land and have built us. And the only reason why America is because of black women. So before I can say anything about anything, I need to honor all the black women who've allowed me to be and us to be, because without them, we would not be here. So we say their names because we forget that black women had to give up their bodies, their families, their livelihoods for others to exist. Since slavery, we'll be celebrating 400 years of trauma, 400 years of violence, 400 years of being raped and killed and lynched. 400 years have black women been something that no one talks about for 400 years. And we're still not talking about the 400 years of black women that we don't talk about. So in this moment, we're talking about all the Pamela Turners that have been lynched, because that was a lynching. We're talking about all the Pamela Turners who have birthed movements and birthed us and have given us the ability to be. We honor them, so say her name.
Pamela Turner!
Say her name.
Pamela Turner!
Say her name.
Pamela Turner!
I would like to thank all of you who've come out here today, but this is only the beginning. This is not the end. We come to these marches and these rallies and we forget that tomorrow still has to happen. A whole family lost a piece of themselves, which means that they lost peace from themselves. So what are we going to do to push love and peace and unity back into this community that has been lost because Pamela Turner is no longer here? This is not Vegas, so what goes on here does not stay here. What will you do to make sure there are no more Pamela Turners? What will you do to make sure that there are no more Pamela Turners? This is the question. This is what you should be asking yourselves. How will you make sure that another family doesn't have to endure what Pamela Turner's family had to? What will you do? Don't talk about other people. Ask other people what they will do. Don't go on Facebook. Facebook thugging is not enough. Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, social media, black women, we deserve way more than that. Yes. We deserve way more than a hashtag. We deserve way. Black men die and the streets are filled. Black men die and the streets are filled. Black women die and we forget their names. We forget the incidences. We forget that somebody held them in their bodies, in their wombs. She was someone's child. For 9 months, someone gave up their entire existence so that she could exist. And we're forgetting that humans, black women, we're humans too. Black women, I'm going to say it again because I don't really think that we think about the lack of humanity that people have for black women. We are humans too. We're not super. We have magic, but we're not as magical as in we still die. Our magic doesn't mean you don't show up for black women. Our strength doesn't mean you don't show up for black women. This is not what this is. So we can talk about how we want justice, but what are you going to do to make sure you have justice? I drove all the way up here from Austin. All the way up here from Austin. I didn't say that for a clap. I'm saying that because that's what it takes. Putting your time and energy and committing into making sure that another family doesn't have to endure what Pamela Turner's family had to endure. Do we think about the trauma? Do we think about how traumatic it is to have to fight for justice and then mourn losing a person that you actually loved? Do we consider how traumatic it is to go through it all the time as black bodies? Watching a video of someone being shot, how traumatizing that is. So I'm hoping that when you leave here with a couple of things. What are you going to do to make sure this doesn't happen to anybody else? How are you going to make sure that you're pouring love and healing and compassion and understanding into this community and into this family? What are you going to do? And last thing, are you going to make sure you're taking care of yourself?
Because this is a marathon, it ain't a sprint. If you're not willing to take care of yourself, don't come out here. Don't act like you're going to be an asset to the movement because you're only a piece of yourself. So come showing up with love and fight. We can war with love. We ain't gotta be angry. We can be angry, that's why we're here, but understanding the family don't need us to be angry, they need us to be able to love and fight. We are all responsible for checking in with our legislators to make sure what they're gonna do to make sure that this investigation is an investigation. Call your legislators, tweet them, email them, and tell them it's their responsibility to make sure that this investigation goes the way it's supposed to. We're not gonna have another 4 years until the family gets to see video of what happened, like Sandra Bland said we have to see, right? So what you can do, call your legislators and make sure they understand that this is a process that you need to be into. Second thing, take care of yourselves, because you not taking care of yourself don't help this movement. And third thing is make sure everybody understands that Black women that we're human too. Say her name.
Pamela Turner!
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 I'm going to go back to something that my sister said. This does not stop here. Every single one of you, call your reps. You let them know that justice for Pamela Turner is directly tied to their seats. If we don't get justice for my sister, they don't keep their seats. Because that's where we are right now. You see, Black women's blood gets spilled on the pavement. And these legislators in Austin just keep on walking right over our dead bodies. And it's time to stop. It is time to stop. Law enforcement will not govern itself. It is the responsibility of legislators to put laws in place so we can hold them accountable. And there is no accountability without it coming out of Austin. So you call your reps. You call your state senators. You let them know you don't get to keep your seat if our sister does not get justice. Pamela Turner's blood is spilled. But that doesn't mean that her life doesn't require a legacy. It doesn't mean that her life doesn't deserve a legacy. It doesn't mean that when we walk away from here, her name goes dark. She deserves our best fight. Black women deserve your hardest, your fiercest fight in these streets all the way up to DC. We deserve it. Everybody wants to talk about trust Black women. Well, trust this Black woman when I say we want justice. Amen. And if we don't get justice, there will be no peace. It is time out for silence. It is a damn shame that we have to call what we're doing radical.
Come on.
This isn't radical. We are fighting for our very survival. Let that sink in. For you non-Black women standing out here, let that sink in. Let it sink in that the things that you do and you walk away from will get us killed. Pamela Turner was just trying to go home. And because the color of her skin, she's gone. There are people that loved Pamela Turner. There are people that mourn her. There is a baby that is not being rocked by its grandmother right now. No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
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 I'm going to open this up right now for black women that would like to take this mic, per se. Sisters, if you don't want to speak, that's okay, because today you don't have to. But we honor you and we love you anyway. But if you do want to take the mic, this is your opportunity.
So my biggest thing is not being afraid of holding peace officers accountable. They are not law enforcers. Law enforcers are FBI agents, Department of Justice, the Attorney General. The statute says these are peace officers. Is the black community getting any peace? No peace at all. The 14th Amendment says we all have equal protection under the law. Which means if you're going to treat me as a suspect, when you shot down Pamela Turner, you're a suspect too. Amen. The problem that we got with the police department, which I've been doing a lot of investigation, a lot of research, they control their own police reports. When that guy shot Pamela Turner down, he wrote his own report. When you write your own report, you write yourself out of jail. Because you do not list yourselves as a suspect. You must list yourself as a suspect. Then you have to have a complainant on top of that. So what I say, the Texas Ranger, Department of Justice, or FBI, or independent task force must write these police reports when it comes to officer-involved shooting. Just like I have to wait to see the jury to plead my innocence, they must come down as a suspect and face the same jury. They do not need to go to trial in no police uniforms. They do not need to go to court in police uniform. You're a suspect like everybody else. Amen. Now that law is in place. The problem is they circumventing the law. We got a judge standing there. He can attest to what I'm saying. We do have equal protection under the law, but who is in the department heads? Sometimes you have white supremacists controlling everything. Come on. See, white supremacists, the only way they stay alive is they control the criminal justice system. Do you know it's $375,000 per day they make for pretrial diversions? $375,000 per day, $11 million per month. That's only pretrial. It's a big money scheme. They don't have no power. Peace officers think they God. Some judges think they God. Well, we got to remove these generation after generation after generation seats they keep holding. It's time to change the seat. Now, the criminal justice system do have some fair laws that I saw, but we got some unfair people who hold these seats. We must change these unfair public servants. See, we don't pay them to kill us. We don't pay them to jail us. These are our tax dollars. So we can't be afraid to hold peace officers accountable. Take the police report out their head. Everybody demand the report to be public. They must have affidavits on file. See, they don't even turn affidavits in because they know they're going to be in line for perjury if they do so. We must know how to deal with the system. You got to learn your rights in the system. You must learn due process. Everybody have due process. Pamela Turner did not have no due process. A lot of black women and men that got killed did not have no due process. Where is their due process? We all must have it. So our job is to hold the peace officers accountable. We go in and hold them accountable. Who was the department head? I want to know who was the lieutenant? Who was in charge? Who was holding up and having all these meetings out here? Right. We must go inside of the justice system. We can bring awareness on the outside through protests. We can bring it through the marches and the walk. But now it's time to have your knowledge. Now it's time to walk inside and demand the police report. Now you need to start assessing the police reports now. It's time for a new restructure era. Y'all remember in the 1800s they had the Reconstruction era? But see, black and whites came together in that Civil War. Did they not? Blacks and whites came together in that Civil War. And I seen black and white here together that care for justice.
So now, back in the 1800s was a Reconstruction era. Now we need a new construction era in the 20th century, and we must come together and form a unity and demand, I'm not asking for anything. I'm going to demand because my dollars pay you. You're not going to talk to me crazy because my dollars pay you. You're not going to talk to any citizen crazy because our dollars pay you. Who in the hell the judge think they are? Who in the hell these officers think they are? We don't have to comply. The 13th Amendment prohibits compliance unless you've been convicted of a crime. Slaves come through the 13th Amendment and it's still alive and well. And that's why they convicted every brown and every black person. Because they can keep slavery alive. And as long as they can keep slavery alive, they can keep staying rich. They can keep moving ahead. They can stay in power. We must kill that. And the way we do that is knowing your rights. Don't be afraid. Hold the justice system accountable for the books, the laws we have on the books, which is your constitutional right. Demand due process. Demand that. The reason why the DA and nobody else say, oh, there's no charges been found, because that officer did not list himself as a suspect. He's not a suspect, so no. They control the reports and it controls the gyms. The gyms is where you put the charging instrument in. So when the DA sees there's no charges on that charging instrument, no charges are found. Why? Because the police wrote his own report. We need to stop that. Now, say her name.
Pamela Turner.
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 Justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
I'm gonna be like Ashton. No peace.
No justice.
No justice. Thank you.
So here's the thing. Candace, something that's important that y'all need to know about. By a show of hands, how many of y'all know why she told you to call your legislator? All right, so I'm going to explain this to you. Have you ever heard of the Sandra Bland Act? Yes. Well, me, Fatima, several other activists got together and worked with Garnett Coleman and a couple other representatives from this area. And they passed a bill named after Sandra Bland that was supposed to protect Pamela Turner. Okay, I'm not trying to bore you, but understand that when we protest and we educate so that we can have everybody on the same page so that when we move in force. And when we walk on the Texas legislature, even if it's 5 of us or 2 of us, we are going to fight for you and fight for Pamela Turner. There are too many times bills come up and we have to name them after someone because of an injustice. Please understand that this police officer was supposed to have backup. This police officer was not in compliance with state law, per the Sandra Bland Act. Sandra Bland still speaks because Pamela Turner is the reason. Do y'all understand? Sandy still speaks. Say it. Sandy still speaks. Sandy still speaks. Sandy still speaks. Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
They should be said in the same breath. Please understand, yes, I'm a black man, but I will never understand or know what it's like to be a black woman or a woman in general. But what I do know is that your legislature right now is trying to legislate control over your bodies. And it's my job to stand up and stand next to you and speak up when you ain't in a room and bring you in a room so you can speak up for yourself. And I need all the men out here to do the same thing. I don't give a damn what you look like. We are all under attack. Pamela Turner was under attack. Pamela Turner's family is under attack right now. There is no way someone who has been living somewhere for 4 months has the type of relationship she did with the leasing office. I'm being told that they will pay her for odd jobs. That she wasn't just picking up the trash for nothing. That she was on a limited income like most of us are. That's why there aren't a lot of people who can drive to Baytown. Not Metro don't come to Baytown, but for those of us who can, please understand the sacrifice that people have to make, the sacrifices that Pamela Turner had to make, raising 2 kids and working double shifts sometimes as a registered nurse. How many of you had to take on extra shifts to pay for that class? That semester that cost a little more than you needed it to. The child that had to get sick and you took them to Texas Children's Hospital. How many times do we have to choose between the dollar menu, our insurance, and bus fare? How many times do we have to choose between our light bills and clean clothes? Black women have to account for that all the time, and we don't make them enough. So forgive me if I sound like I'm groveling, if it sounds like I'm pandering. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't you like me having to walk with women to get abortions after they've been raped. Because it's not just Pamela Turner being murdered, it's women being murdered by their bodies, y'all. Please hear me. You can't take our minds away, but you damn sure could drive us crazy. Now imagine what black women have to go through. Putting to the side that they have their own grandkids and their own children. And they have to come out here and put risk to their own selves, get dragged out of school board meetings for trying to stop 10 black and brown schools from being closed. Because mama can't come to school when your child is being bused 20 miles across the road, across the city, to a school that in a place where they're not used to. Think about this for a second. Imagine if it was Pamela Turner, just like how she was that night, going to a school in HISD where they have dress codes. And I wonder whether people who were pissed off when we were calling out that principal for trying to tell people how to dress, going in for dress codes to go register their children for school. Where the fuck are you?
Come on now.
Where's the anger? Where are you? Don't be docile. It's all right. Your people live in Sienna Plantation. The only time they come in the third ward is when they want to go to French's and Wheeler. Get their asses out here. I'm not talking about just today. I'm talking about every day. And if you are scared to get your job jeopardized and you're too respectable of a Negro, give the money to somebody else and let them do it. Okay? Because if you can't do it, we need people who can do all things. Like Fatima. Fatima came here from Austin, but she's been talking to legislators about this. Local Houston Baytown legislators in Harris County to tell them about how they can be involved and how they can call this out. Because let us not forget, we almost had a bill that ended up getting poisoned by pills that could have also prevented this. So please understand when Candace tells you to contact your legislators, it's important. I know some of us ain't got no email. Some of us, all we can do is do a call. We can't get on the bus and go to Austin. But please understand that these people see this. And these people write bills behind this. The summer that Sandra Bland was murdered, the Sandra Black was born because Garnett Coleman had enough strength and not enough fear to go ahead and hold committee meetings that he was over. And that testimony from those committee meetings that summer was the basis for the Sandra Bland Act. So don't tell me us being out here loud with this megaphone and in these government buildings that we don't matter. Because we matter. Because Black Lives Matter. Because Black women matter. Black women matter.
Black women matter.
Black women matter.
Black women matter. Black women matter. Black women matter. Black women matter. Black women matter. Black women matter. Black women matter. Black women matter. Black women matter.
The mic is open.
Hello, I'm from the area. My name is Isaac Lloyd. I'm with Out of the Box Ministry, Stop the Violence. And we do this on a regular. I want to say to the family, we stand in solidarity with you guys, with Stop the Violence. And we just want to say her name?
Pamela Turner.
Say her name?
Pamela Turner.
Say her name?
Pamela Turner.
It was no excuse that the officers that was supposed to be sworn in to protect and serve failed us.
Come on.
It was no excuse for the legislative around here because we done been it up several times. They know this was going on. They knew when the other people that got murdered, we would hold them rallies. Not one showed. We have to get in numbers. Unity is the only thing that's gonna get some things done. We need to come out and support. I don't care who it is. Pamela Turner, Jose, whoever. We need to stand in solidarity and unity with everybody, black, yellow, brown, and get some things done. It's too many, y'all can attest to ones that's here from Baytown. It's too many young brothers and sisters, young, that dies. There's not a lot of older people that's getting slain every day. It's the youth. And that's what I deal with a lot of times. But we need to stand up as a body. As a body, the Bible says, my people that are called according to my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn away from their wicked way. And then will you hear from heaven and you will heal your lands. We got to fight, we got to pray, and we got to come in numbers. And we got to show them that we are not going to take this. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Listen, here's the thing. This ain't the kind of protest where somebody's on the podium stepping up and looking down at you. As you can see, we are all eye level. This is a community event, and at community events, the mic is open for all who speak. I just ask that you send to black women and brown women first, and then if you want to speak, then come up if you have enough courage, because we need to hear from you. The world is watching. I don't care if it's 5 people, I don't care if it's 3,000. Y'all need to know that people are watching, and everything that you say will influence them for the good.
Right, that's right, that's right.
First of all, I want to say to the family that are here that I'm so sorry for your pain. I can relate to your pain. I know your pain. I'm in your position as well. When I saw the video the next morning when I woke up, I saw it piece by piece like everyone else did. It just brought me so much pain, so much anger. I can't help but be angry. I can't help but be angry. I understand about being peaceful and everything, but there's some things to be peaceful about, and there's just some things you cannot be peaceful about. And I'm saying the truth. Because this is not the first time. This is not the first time. But when I saw her going through that, I'm like, oh, how could they be doing this again? How could they be doing this to her? How? And hearing her saying, you're harassing me. He knew he was harassing her. He knew that she was scared. He knew all of this, and he still kept on going. He still kept on. I could only imagine what she felt like, what she was feeling. I could only imagine. I can only imagine the fear that she had. I can only imagine. The cops killed my brother 40 years ago and threw him in the Buffalo Bayou. And it was 7 of them, HPD. And we found them on Mother's Day. So I know what they are going through. I know how they feel. Yes, time will pass, but we will forever be hurt. We will forever be hurt. And my important word, if y'all leave with anything here today, is what I always tell everyone. Unity is the key.
That's right.
That's right.
Because they see our separation.
Yes.
That is what they want.
Yes.
Us to be separated.
Yes.
That is what they want.
Speak it.
They want us to be fighting each other.
Come on. Conquer and divide.
They want us to be fighting each other because it makes it easier for them to kill us. And it's the truth. And it's the truth. So when you leave here today, take that with you and spread it, please. Unity is the key. They see all these groups separated. They know that. will always stick with everybody. I will always stick with the people, no matter what, to the end. They put me here. They made who I am. And I'm not backing down. I will never back down. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Okay? But I'm not scared to die for something that I believe in. I'm not scared to die for the people, for them to get justice. I have no fear for that. I am angry as hell. I am angry as hell because they do not let me rest. They do not let us live in peace. That's all we want to do. That's all she wanted to do is go home to her family. That's all my brother wanted to do is go home to his family and to get up the next day and go to work. That's all she wanted to do is go home, meet her new grandbaby. That's all she wanted to do.
That's right. That's right.
He decided for her. He decided for her. And with that being said, everybody, we are not going to give up. We are not going to give up. It's going to be a long road. It's going to be a tough road. But guess what? Bring it on. This is not my first time. Bring it on. We'll continue to come out as much as possible. And give the family your support, your love, please. Because it's going to be a long road. They're going to play dirty. But we're going to call them out on it. We're going to make sure. And let them know that we are here and we're not going anywhere. Please. Thank you.
No justice,
No peace.
no justice,
No peace.
I'm Pastor Minister Brandon Glaspie out of Fifth Ward, Texas. Purposeful Youth Ministries, Prison Youth Ministries, out here to support the family and my fellow comrades. Yes, we have to stand. Our sister was saying earlier, love, love. So many of us have the absence of love. So many of the peace officers out here and around this country have the absence of love. No matter who you believe in, there's always the essence of love in it. And if you have the absence of love, how can you love your fellow human being? The word says, how can you say you love me, talking about God, but hate your brother you see every day? Not your blood brother in the house, your brother you meet every day as you go to and from. How can you even imagine about loving somebody you can't see, or worshiping whoever you worship and saying you love whoever you worship, but hate the God you serve every day? Hate the brother you see every day. How can we? And as many of these peace officers around the nation, they go to church. So therefore they're claiming that they love something. But how can you love your creator but you hate the ones you come across every day? You hate the community you police every day. You hate the people in the community you police every day. So there's no value on your life if you have no love. If you have the absence of love, how can I value your life? That's why we have so much senseless violence. Not just from peace officers, but amongst one another. We have the absence of love. And when these peace officers get hired, they take polygraphs, and you can simply lie through the polygraph. You can simply say, I've been this good person all my life. You can simply say, I didn't take any drugs. You can simply say, I'm not a drunk. You can simply say, I'm not a racist. You can simply say all these things and still get hired. But these are the type of folks that are getting hired. Let's be truthful.
That's right.
These are the type of folks that are being hired. And these are the type of individuals, no matter what color they are policing our neighborhoods and are terrorizing, not policing, but terrorizing our neighborhoods and terrorizing our brothers and sisters in them. So with that, say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Peace be to you, family. Buenas tardes. Estamos muy tristes
We are very sad
por el asesinato
for the departure of our loved one, Pamela Turner.
cobarde que enlutó a este lugar, a Baytown.
This our police that make us be reunited today, given the situation, the assassination of Pamela Turner.
Estamos nosotros como hispanos comprometidos con ustedes, con el movimiento afroamericano.
We as Hispanic are united with you to contribute to defend the lives of black women because Black Lives Matters also.
Nosotros pensamos que algo está mal en Estados Unidos.
We think something is wrong in the United States.
¿Cómo es posible que los policías maten tanto afroamericano y hispano?
How is possible so many African American and Hispanic people?
Estamos cansados de mirar cómo el gobierno de Donald Trump incita a la discriminación racial.
We are tired how the government of Donald Trump incite to discrimination.
Para un policía matar a un afroamericano o asesinar a un hispano es la misma cosa. Es una discriminación que está siendo fomentada por el presidente Donald Trump.
For a police officer, it's not really something that is more important a life of a Hispanic or African American. It is fomented by the government.
Right.
No hay un dinero, millones y millones que le puedan dar la vida a nuestra amiga, a Pamela Turner. No es dinero lo que estamos pidiendo, pedimos justicia.
There's no amount of money that can replace Pamela Turner. We just want accountability.
Right.
Nosotros como hispanos nos comprometemos con el movimiento afroamericano.
We as Hispanic, we support the Black Lives Matter at this moment.
Mi grupo de mexicanos en acción se compromete con ustedes para algunas acciones que quieran tomar como de desobediencia civil.
We as Mexican in action compromise, and here my friend Leobardo Santillan, he said that he can compromise himself to make an act of civil disobedience.
Por si quieren incursionar en que cerremos este lugar, yo me ofrezco voluntario para ser arrestado.
If you want to close this street, he is voluntary to do that for you.
¡Viva el movimiento afroamericano! ¡Viva Pamela Turner!
Viva
Muchas
Pamela
gracias.
Turner. Thank you.
Man, yes, sir.
I want y'all to repeat after me. Actually, can y'all come closer? I don't bite, I promise. This is us together in the same place, doing the same thing, fighting for the same reason. I want you to repeat after me. It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love each other.
We must love each other
and support each other.
and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
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 No, you don't hear me. It is our duty.
It is our duty
to win.
To win.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We have nothing to lose.
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 We have nothing to lose but our chains.
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 No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
And if we don't get it,
shut it down.
And if we don't get it,
shut it down.
And if we don't get it,
shut it down.
And if we don't get it,
shut it down.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
That's how we're supposed to do this. Somebody lost their life and did not fucking deserve it. Excuse my French, but I'm angry. Judge me for crying, I don't care. Please understand the pain that the family behind you is going through. And if you've ever lost somebody like she did, like y'all did, how many of y'all got a cousin in jail right now that ain't supposed to be there? How many of them are black women? See, we don't talk about that. Incarceration rates of black women are growing. You know how they're being criminalized? They're being criminalized as children in school-to-prison pipelines. Right. Being held aggressively. Hair being cut when they don't want it. Being yanked around and raped and being told you're supposed to be doing this and you're supposed to be doing that. What happened to respect for Pamela Turner and her personal autonomy? What happened to respect for black women and their personal autonomy? Hear me loud and clear. I don't care who you are, but you better wake your ass up. It's gonna be you, and you're gonna be looking for somebody to come for you. Say you don't care. Don't do her like y'all did Corinne Gaines. Don't say she shouldn't have spoken up for herself. Don't say she shouldn't have protected her children.
All right.
Don't say it. Don't tell us how to be angry. Don't tell us how to present.
Come on.
We fucking exist, and you better damn respect us.
All right. Come on.
Somebody take that megaphone.
Right.
Say her name.
Pamela Turner.
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 This pain is real. The fact that at any moment I can walk out of my house and through no fault of my own end up dead is real. My gender and my color collide in a very dangerous place. And no matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter how I live and the good that I put out in the world, I can still end up dead because somebody has prejudged me. And I'm not the only one. Pamela Turner was a person. You don't have to know her personally to be connected to her humanity. You don't have to know her family personally to be connected to Pamela Turner's humanity, to be connected to the mourning that her family is going through right now. You don't have to be black. You just have to be alive and love your life. No matter how grand or how small that may be. You just have to, for you to do something.
Come on.
When? When does it stop? And who makes it stop? Every single one of us.
Right. Every single one of us, you've got a heart and it's beating. You should feel something for Pamela Turner and for her family. This is not something to speculate. This is action. We are requiring action. Do not let this go when you walk away from here. You fight. You intervene. You white people, when you see black people getting pulled over by the cops, you pull over behind them to make sure that we come out alive.
Right.
This is not time for you to be passive. You have to actively be anti-racist. Doing something wrong, because we're dying. Somebody asked me, what is this? How does this make you feel? First of all, fuck you. How does this make me feel? It could have been me. And it's not me, but you know what? That's somebody's mom. That's somebody's grandma. That's somebody's aunt. So it doesn't matter how it makes me feel. What about their feelings? Where is her justice? That police officer violated many, many rules.
That's right.
And he should pay the price.
That's right. He should.
There is a price for murder.
That's right.
Pamela Turner was murdered.
That's right.
Point blank, period. And that conversation white people need to have with white people.
Right.
That's not my conversation to have. I can't have that conversation because I'm just trying to stay alive.
That's right.
This doesn't stop here. Do not elevate yourself to ally, accomplice, co-conspirator. Don't do that. Do the work. Do the work here. Do the work in your families. Do the work in Austin. Do the work. Because I can stand in front of a police officer all day long. I can stand in front of a judge all day long. I can stand in front of legislators all day long. And my black body is still criminal to them. I am criminalized because of the color of my skin. Pamela Turner didn't stand a chance because she was already criminalized because of the color of her skin. Pamela Turner was a person. Say her name.
Pamela Turner!
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 All right, beautiful humans, we're gonna do something a little different. Something that I think is really important when we come to these rallies. See, we forget that this is an opportunity to meet people. We all believe that there should be justice for Pamela Turner, hence why we're here, correct?
Right.
I don't really believe you because I didn't hear anything back, right?
Right!
So because we believe that there should be justice for Pamela Turner, we need to take time to get to know one another so that we can continue the process, because change only comes when we take the time to get to know one another so that we can build community for change. So I'm going to invite all of you for the next 5 minutes to talk to. You can do it in pairs or a group. At least 3 to 4 people you did not come here with, that you do not know, that you do not look like. I would like for you, I invite you, I implore you, if you are down for change the way you say you are, then that means you are down for connecting with other human beings that are here, that are also down for change, because we can't change things if we're not together, right? So I'm gonna invite you, connect with 3 people you didn't come here with for 5 minutes, right? That look different than you. You didn't come here with you. You have no idea who they are. Y'all not Facebook friends. Y'all never chatted on Twitter. You ain't seen them before ever.